So Carrie, I don't know if you can see the poster behind me, but it's on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Ah,
and, and
we share a love for a similar film or the same film.
yeah, because I noticed a ton of amazing references in the movie, and I just wanted to know, is that something that you brought in? Are you a big fan of that Bond film?
I am. It was a late discovery though for me. I was not, from childhood a fan of the film because I just didn't know about it, and I knew there was a solitary Bond film out there that people, didn't really bring up that much. And then when I saw it, I was just kind of blown away by not only the what happens in the story and the marriage and everything, but also the craft in the movie.
Yeah,
It's just the way it was shot. Felt very fresh and interesting.
Well, I felt like I could pick up a couple of similarities in your movie too. Just you have that gorgeous photography as well in your film, and this real epic scope that movie had, almost like if David Lean had done a James Bond movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it just felt like the craft of it felt like it was very patient, in the way it was done too. Yeah.
So what do you think as a guy coming into the franchise is the reason that the character of James Bond over the years has resonated so strongly with people? What's your take on that?
I've thought about this a lot over time and trying to figure out, why. And I'm sure there's a lot of reasons. And if you were to ask, the fans why, they would probably have very individual reasons for it. But I think aside from the legacy and, growing up with the character and your parents growing up with the character, I think the fact that it changes with time, and continues to evolve is a big part of that. Daniel Craig's tenure specifically, I think, brought a lot of lifeblood, vitality to it that was very much needed to the franchise. And that's why I think for me, it brought me back in as a fan, as an adult, really, eager to see every next film. And it was I think, a large part due to the complexity and the vulnerability and the humanity that Daniel brought to the role.
And as a director, how do you put your stamp on a franchise that's been going kind of for 60 years? What was your goal going into it? Although you did get to tell kind of a unique chapter, I think, in Bond, because we knew that this was going to be Daniel Craig's last time playing the part.
Yeah, I think it helped to be able to build off, the previous four, because they're all interconnected dramatically. But in terms of like putting my stamp on it, I didn't really think about it in that way. I just thought about it, in terms of my responsibility. If the ship is under my steering, it's like, how do I make sure this ending is a good one? Because oftentimes we've seen series, whether it's a trilogy or a television series, whatever, that we've loved and watched and I've invested so much into, and then the ending is somehow disappointing. And the last thing I want to be was the guy that did the really disappointing ending. So
no,
that was the main thing I was sort of like, focused on.
As a lifelong fan, I'll tell you, you nailed it. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Take care, man. Thank you.
Oh, that's it. All right. Yeah. My pleasure. I need to find that poster.
Oh,
I did. George Lazenby. I did help George Lazenby get his official blue marker for Instagram.
Did you really?
Yeah, he reached out because he was like trying to get, for whatever reason, they weren't like making him official. So I reached out to some friends from Facebook and Instagram, and they're like, "Well, of course. I mean, that's Bond.
I'd love to doubt one day. I really think he's underrated. I think he's great.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
It's a good one. All right, man. Take it easy.
Bond, any thug can kill. I have to know I can trust you.
Well, I understand double O's have a very short life expectancy.
You are a kite dancing in a hurricane, Mr. Bond.
Is this really what you want? Always alone?
We used to be able to get into a room with the enemy. Now they're just floating in the ether.
When her secret finds its way out, it'll be the death of you.
Oh my God. Target enough people.
And the people become the weapon.
Who is he?
James, you don't know what this is.
with Madeline Swan, I could be speaking to my own reflection. Only your skills die with your body. And life is all about leaving something behind. Isn't it?
Come on, Bond. Where the hell are you?
Okay.
If we don't do this, there will be nothing left to save.
I have to finish this. You ever flown like this?
Nope.